Testimony before the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors budget hearings, April 30th, 2020. Chairman McKay, Board of Supervisors, Route 1 Corridor Supervisors, Mr. Lusk and Mr. Stork. My name is Keary Kincannon. I pastor Rising Hope Mission Church, a United Methodist congregation. We have been serving the needs of the underprivileged, the poor, the marginalized on the Route 1 corridor for the last 25 years. I'm also here representing Ventures in Community, a coalition of churches and nonprofits in the Route 1 corridor, Mount Vernon area. I urge you to prioritize the neediest first, those who need the most help in this pandemic. Not only does my faith tell me to do that, but the COVID-19 crisis, the poor, the underprivileged, they are the ones that are being hurt the most. They need the most help. Just for some background, Rising Hope has a food pantry that serves between 250 and 300 families every single week. We think that food provides for 200 to 250,000 meals for our community every single year. We leverage $1,200,000 worth of food that we freely give out to our community every single year. In this current crisis, our donations from regular sources are down, yet the demand is up. Some grocery store donations are now non-existent. They have stopped being able to give to us. We're getting much less fresh produce from the food banks and other places that we used to get. Fortunately, many churches and individuals have stepped up, and they are doing their best to supply us with food, so we're able to continue to give out a good amount of food to people in the community. But how long will that be sustainable? We are seeing an increase in new families coming to Rising Hope for food to the tune of 30 to 40 families a week, and almost all of those families are Hispanic. It says something about who are the families in our community that are losing their jobs. In partnership with New Hope Housing and Ventures in Community, we house the hypothermia shelter for our part of the county. It provides 2,800 bed nights every single year. Many of the homeless in the community, after hypothermia is over, continue to come to Rising Hope and look to us for support. Recently, a homeless mother and 2 disabled children came to our front doors crying that they had no place to go. Fortunately, we were able to connect them with coordinated services, and they found a place to stay. We continue to help with the clothing needs of the homeless the best we can, but we are not allowing individuals to come inside to the building, so that gets a little tricky. And in a limited way over the phone, we are still able to assist those that come in with emergency needs, a night in a hotel, a prescription paid for. But I'll tell you the truth, I am very frightened as to what's going to happen when evictions start happening again. We're going to see a pandemic of evictions. Our operations have been greatly impacted at Rising Hope. Many of the services we used to provide have been put on hold. The drop-in center with a compassionate listening program that provided many services to the homeless and low-income individuals has stopped. And I worry about how they're going to continue to be supported. They don't have the internet. They don't have connections to talk to us that way. This pandemic is simply highlighting the problems that we have in our society, the gaps that we have. Many of us are going to come through on the other side, but for many that Rising Hope serves, their lives have been decimated. No job, no food, no home, no health care. Rising Hope and Ventures in Community both urge you to leverage state and federal resources to prioritize the vulnerable people in need of food and shelter and other ancillary services. Please find ways to support all the nonprofits in the community that are struggling to find ways to support their operations as they serve the needs of those that are most in need in our community. I close with these words from the prophet Isaiah, who that I think fit this situation perfectly. He reminds us that we will see the light of dawn, that our healing will come quickly when we share our food with the hungry, that we provide shelter for the homeless, that we clothe the naked, and we not turn away from our own flesh and blood. Then our righteousness will go before us, and the glory of the Lord will be our rear guard. Thank you for listening. Amen.